Lord. Sometimes it's really upsetting to know that the people that we hold dear to our hearts, or even just regular people that we don't know, may not have our best intention at heart. When I know if you're anything like me, I show up in the world and I don't mean nobody no harm, but we got to be realists here and just realize that everybody don't rock like that. People may look the part, they may act the part, say the right things, but it's important to listen to that little voice in your head that may tell you that something ain't right here. So we're going to learn how to fine tune that in hopes that we can avoid some future betrayals and maybe some future heartbreaks as well. So let's say you're sitting at a bar and this dude comes up to you. He's real cute, he real handsome, he tall, he smell pretty nice, he gets to chatting with you, vibes are okay, you're feeling him a little bit, but something's off. You can't even put your finger on it. To the outside eye, everything would seem normal, but in your brain, something ain't sitting right. So when he asks for your number, you're like, nah, I'm good. Thank you though. I appreciate you and your time. What is that? What is that switching mechanism that makes us say, something ain't really right? Well, I believe that as women, we have a divine intuition about us, you see. It's our filtering system that draws from our past experiences, results, conclusions, relationships, and in a split decision, we know whether something is right for us or it isn't. But a lot of times, we tune that shit out because, he fine, or because, this is fun, or because something else that's really dumb. But it's up to us to actually listen to that. And it automatically draws these conclusions. A lot of times, no active thought needed. We know whether that situation is right. We know whether this is the right decision that we're making. Sometimes it can be a little bit more nuanced, but we'll get into that later in the video. Decisions that we're making sometimes that can be easy, like don't go down the dark alleyway, or maybe sit with your body facing the door in a restaurant. Those can be a lot easier. But what I found is when the gut feeling is attached to somebody that we love and care about, it can be a lot harder to actually trust that feeling and then to actually act upon it when you feel those things. And I think as people, we really do have the propensity to create false narratives surrounding the people that we love. And a lot of times it just protects the image that we have of them and makes us feel a lot better, because facing the reality of certain situations is never fun, to say the least. They could literally say all the right things. They could have this whole image built up in your mind, and it's something that at a certain point they don't even have to uphold. They've already said the right things. They've already convinced you that they're a certain type of person. So when they step outside of that character box, it doesn't even faze you. And that's like just so crazy to me. There's still that voice in the back of your head that's like, something ain't right. That doesn't really sit well with me. But a lot of times we'll hush that, we'll suppress that down, and we'll just keep pushing because it feels comfortable and it feels safe. And ultimately, it's not good for us. One really good way to just practice awareness in your day-to-day life when you're interacting with people is to sometimes turn down their voice. If you're having a face-to-face conversation, just turn down their voice and pay attention to their being. Do they make you feel safe? Do they make you feel secure? Look in their eyes. Do they seem genuine? And sometimes that's a lot easier said than done, because as I mentioned before, when we are in these dynamics where we have a false narrative built up about a person and our gut is telling us one thing, but our hearts and brains are telling us another, it can be hard to even know what the truth is, what is a projection from ourselves. And I think that's really where the just self-awareness comes in, and finding what your base level is. Once you have your base level, you know what your inner peace feels like. You know what you feel like when you're whole and stable. You know what that feels like. So when anybody comes into your space, you can discern what that energy is and how it conflicts with what you got going on. But doing that actually takes a lot of practice, and it takes a lot of time. And it can take answering some really tough questions about yourself as well. Something that I've started to do recently is journaling a lot more. I also want these videos to be a form of just, reflection. And Also, a lot of self accountability too. A bank for me to draw from, and hopefully somebody else can watch these too and feel some sort of something or get something from them. Because I know I ain't went through all this bullshit for no reason. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. Anywho, I'm playing. Not really though. But I really just want us to come away from this trusting ourselves, trusting our intuitions, implementing that trust in different ways throughout our life, because we make these good decisions literally every day. This shirt or this shirt? Should we eat this for breakfast or this for breakfast? When we smell the thing of milk, does it smell good or no? We really do need to protect ourselves in a lot of ways, and just make sure that we're acting and going forward in ways that protect our hearts, protect our minds, protect our bodies.